While we're talking about Twitter, at the time of filming, Elon Musk, which I'm interested to hear your thoughts on that whole situation, but he has recently said that his original offer is back on the table. The Twitter stock is up 12% and has been halted.
Wow.
So, thoughts on that whole thing? What do you think? I mean, maybe, I don't know.
I bet that's not good for you.
Any insight into his motivations?
I bet that's not good for him.
Allegedly has something to do with his, being free speech or something like that, is what I've heard, is part of the acquisition idea.
Yeah, he wants to turn Twitter into a free speech platform, right? And this is like Jack Dorsey, when he founded Twitter, said we want to be the free speech wing of the free speech party, right? Which is so ironic given the content censorship that happens on Twitter, right? And I mean, now Parler's business. Parler is now a much bigger company than just the social media asset. This is what I was saying to you yesterday. We completed this acquisition. We have a very large data center operation. We're probably going to do another acquisition in this space. We're doing
right. So we have
a big crypto operation now. Yeah, I mean the social media, and this kind of comes back to the point. Like, I believe there is a value in the social media asset of Parler, absolutely, and I believe that we can still fight a fight which has not yet been fought, which is this crypto fight. But there's also all these other competitors out there, and congratulations to them, and well done on people taking the initiative to grow a business which is combating a desperate societal need, right? So, whether Elon, I mean, I raised some points at the beginning of the Elon Twitter kind of debacle, which I think are very relevant. First of all, which is that, like, the bot issue is a real issue, right? And there is a huge issue on Twitter with bots. And so, he has to deal with that. The second thing is that there's a culture shift, and Twitter is like Twitter is the vanguard flag waver of the woke brigade, right? It's just it's where all the leftists hang out, right? I mean, they all love Twitter, and the reason being is because it never censors them and it only censors their opponents, right? I mean, like, the number of conservatives who have been given strikes and barred and banned and kicked off, most famously the President of the United States of America. Like, how much more evidence do you need, right? And so the reason that the woke brigade loved Twitter is because Hillary Clinton's staffers went to work at Twitter. I mean, it's kind of well known that they are. I mean, Facebook is nowhere near as bad as Twitter in terms of censorship. Yes, it has a censorship problem, but it's nowhere near as bad as Twitter. And anyway, so if Elon does buy Twitter, like, commendable that he's taking it upon himself and staking his own cash to try and resurrect this entire platform. He's basically going to have to fire all 6,000 employees, right? And start again, because it's just like every employee who works there. Jack Dorsey said this in congressional testimony. Why does your platform have a bias on the left? And he said the reason being is because we hire from California, and the majority of people in California are on the left, right? And it's like a self-fulfilling cycle of vice. It's you're based in California. The people you hire are woke. The people they in turn appeal to are woke people. The people they look to hire are woke people.
Cool.
The viewpoints.
That's all right. You can leave it.
The viewpoints they put out are woke. Like, all the cards align, right? And all of those things combine with each other to produce a very, very woke business. And this is why the Supreme Court has in turn issued an opinion. Justice Thomas wrote this opinion, which he said that Section 230, which is the shield behind which these tech companies sit in terms of their differentiation between a platform and a publisher, the shield that they bear is only worthy of bearing if they can demonstrate that over time they haven't exercised consistent subjective opinions. And Twitter, like, I don't know anybody on the left or the right, like, some of the best respected tech journalists in the world have said to me in private, Twitter is clearly a publisher. It's not a platform anymore. It clearly is making subjective decisions, right? And that's the truth. And so that as a result, you end up with this, like, I don't understand how they're still shielded by this broad-based immunity that they're allowed to pledge.
So if Elon does get Twitter, would you be kind of like disappointed in the short term but excited in the long run?
Well, I think
because of the damage it would presumably do to Parler. As soon as people heard, I mean, I for like a hot second got back on Twitter.
I feel like the damage. I mean, like we saw a lot of people create, like conservatives as a whole saw a lot of people create accounts after Elon announced. So I feel like what damage has already been done is done, right? Yeah. So the people who still use Parler, like, the hundreds of thousands of monthly active users we have, are they kind of love the platform for just the fact that it's a different corner of the internet. We poll our users pretty consistently, and we find that lots of people just enjoy it because it is different. They don't want to be on Twitter. In the long run, like, what do I think it has? I mean, in the long run, I think that it's very good for society if a major tech platform, like the healing of society needs to take place. The healing of society it can't take place under the current leadership of the tech titans, right? Because the current leadership of the tech titans has no, like, they're not interested in free speech. They're not interested in this debate, right? So I think it's a good thing for society. What it means for our business, as I said, I saw the writing was on this wall a long time ago. So that's why I've diversified the portfolio and really my focus now, and has been for some time, is growing the platform in terms of hosting and data centers operation that we focus on to this day.
Thank you very much for watching that clip. Before you go, do us a favor, click like, click subscribe, and if this really meant something to you, help us out by sharing it.